God never called you to build alone. That's why Moses was struggling in the desert, y'all, until his father-in-law Jethro came along and said, bro, what are you doing? You're doing all this alone and you're just stressing out. You're not even accomplishing anything. So that's what God is telling you. He does not want you to build alone. The beautiful part of delegation is that you're building teams and you are empowering people. Isn't that what this is about? Empowering people, building the church of God. So delegation is my absolute favorite. So in this video, we will be talking about the power of delegation and how it not only supports your business, but it also empowers others. God is calling you to delegate like a kingdom leader. He wants you to build a dynamic team around your vision. He didn't give you your vision just for you or just for you to be the one to execute on it. He wants you to build a team. It is something amazing about empowering others, putting them in a position where they are stretched and able to grow and to come out of their comfort zone and step out of, being afraid to do things or timidity and things like that. God wants us to be strong and courageous, but he also wants us to build teams. If we do it all on our own, we will burn out and we will get nowhere. That's why delegation is my favorite. This one, if you don't do this, your business is going to be stagnant. I'm sorry. If you do not build a team around what you're doing, it will stay stagnant. You will be frustrated, all of that. But again, that's not going to be you. That's not going to be you. You're going to implement these things we're talking about. Just like Moses, that's what he did. After he got counsel from his father-in-law Jethro about how he should move forward with the Israelites, he stepped right into that and it changed the whole game. Let's go ahead and read that. Exodus 18:13. The next day, Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood around Moses from morning till evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, "What is this that you are doing for the people? Why do you sit alone and all the people stand around you from morning until evening?" And Moses said to his father-in-law, "Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have a dispute, they come to me and I decide between one person and the other, and I make them know the statutes of God and his laws." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "What you are doing is not good. You and the people with you will certainly wear yourselves out, for the thing is too heavy for us. You are not able to do it alone. Now obey my voice. I will give you advice, and God be with you. You shall represent the people before God and bring their cases to God. And you shall warn them about the statutes and the laws and make them know the way in which they must walk and what they must do. Moreover, look for able men from all the people, men who fear God, who are trustworthy and hate a bribe, and place such men over the people as chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. And let them judge the people at all times. Every greater matter they shall bring to you, but any small matter they shall decide themselves. So it will be easier for you, and they will bear the burden with you. If you do this, God will direct you. You will be able to endure, and all the people also will go to their place in peace." Now, I know this is a meaty verse, but we had to read all of that because there was a whole thing here. Jethro was observing. He's like, what in the world is going on? In another translation, Jethro asked him, what are you accomplishing by doing this? You're not accomplishing anything. You're not getting anything done. So what did God tell him to do? He didn't tell Moses to just find any men and just throw them into the task. He said, you need to go and find able men. Men who are actually able to accomplish the task. They have the skill set. They have the mindset. They love the Lord. They're trustworthy. They hate bribes. These are the ones. And then you're going to position them based off of their ability. And that's what God does with us. Based off of your ability, you're not called to do everything. Again, as I mentioned in the previous video, you are CEO. You are over your business. You are running the operations, but you have a team there to support your vision. You cast the vision. They jumped onto it. And you guys are all working collectively to make this happen, to bring to fruition the thing God has planted in your heart to place in the earth. So he delegated them based off of their skill sets, some to 1,000, some to 100, some to 50, and some to 10, based off of whatever their level of expertise may be. That is how it was all delegated. So now Moses won't have everyone all up on him all day and night. He has bigger things to do. He has to go and hear the voice of God. He has to prepare the commands. He has to write Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Moses, he wrote all of those. And he has to focus in on his mission. He would have been burnt out. And he was already older. I mean, what you going to do? You're 80 and you're doing this for 40 years. He passed away at 120. That's not easy. So you have to delegate and pass this on. So keep this in mind. Delegation is not weakness. It is wisdom. Now, I have been there. I'm not just preaching to you guys. I'm not just telling y'all what to do. I'm telling you this from experience because there has had to be a mindset shift in me as well. There's calling and then there's also control. And oftentimes, I can want to be in control of the whole operation, all of it. Man, I want to make sure this is good, as excellent as possible. The whole perfectionism thing, we don't want to do that. That's something we want to renounce. We don't want to be doing this perfection thing. God has not called us to be perfectionists. He wants us to be excellent, but he's not saying this has to be completely perfect. There's no other way and everything. That's ludicrous. Other people have other ideas. Other people have other skills. When you put all those together and you merge them, oh man, how beautiful is that? Even when they were building the Tower of Babel. Now, the Tower of Babel was a mess because God didn't call us to try and elevate ourselves up. He told us to spread out and go into the world, to go and have dominion. That's what he tells us to do in Genesis. He tells us to work together to try and elevate ourselves up to the heights above God. He didn't call us to do that. So that's why Tower of Babel was a mess. But when God and the three persons were in fellowship and talking about the whole situation, they said when they all work together, there's nothing that they can't accomplish. Now, in that situation, what they were doing, their method or their purpose was not good. But he still said, when we all work together collectively, there's nothing that we can't do. So that's why it's key for us to build teams around the vision that we have. So I've been there before. I'll just do everything myself because I'm good at it. Someone else may do it wrong or do it differently and everything. It's like, no, I have to relent. Specifically Paindoor Productions. I'm going to let someone else edit this video. And it turned out fantastic. I'm going to send someone else to this photo shoot or this video shoot. And it turned out fantastic. Now, was it exactly the way that I would do it? No. And that's okay. Because your way of doing it is not the only way that things should go. And the client still absolutely loved it. So that's the key part. Are you delivering the value to the specific client or customer or individual that you are supporting? That is key. So that's why delegation is so key. And outside of that, you're giving other people opportunity. I love paying people. When I get paid and I'm able to hire someone, I'm able to pay them. I'm like, man, I had the opportunity to create something that not only added value to me and my family, but now you and your family can be straight. I have one of the individuals on my team, someone who actually coached in videography and photography and things like that. And I'm like, man, you caught on pretty good. I need you to join our team. And they have their sweet little daughter, absolutely awesome. And with that, I'm like, man, whenever there's a reel or a post or something I need to do, I'm like, let me hit them up and pass them over, pass this task over to them so they can get paid, support their family. So these opportunities are awesome, not only for you and for your benefit, but so that you could be a blessing to other individuals as well. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their toil. So God already knew from when he created everything. Right from the beginning with Adam and Eve, when he had just Adam, that was the only time he said something wasn't good. Day 1, and it was good. The Lord saw it was good. Day 2, the Lord saw it was good, et cetera, et cetera. Then day 6, oh man, this isn't good. What was the only thing that wasn't good? God is good. Everything God makes is perfect. What wasn't good? That man was alone. It is not good for man to be alone. And yes, we're talking about the marital sense in that specific situation, but this is in business. This is in every realm of life, relationships, family, whatever. It is not good for man to be alone. You need to connect with other individuals. We are interdependent. We coexist. We support each other. Our spirits work together to make things happen. So it is key for you to connect with other individuals, and there's a great reward for their toil. How it says that 1 can chase 1,000 and 2 can chase 10,000. It's not 1 can chase 1,000, 2 can chase 2. No, God is all about multiplication. So we got the exponential growth, okay? So 1 chases 1,000, 2, 10,000 to flight, okay? So how much more when you have a huge team and you got your systems in place and you eliminated things and you got things automated and now you got things delegating. Everything's just flowing seamlessly. Next, we're going to talk about the Delegation Framework. But before we jump into that, if you are enjoying this video, I want you to go ahead and please subscribe. Go ahead and like the video, hit the bell so you don't miss any future ones. If there's anyone who comes to mind that this can benefit, go ahead and share with them so they can do the same and we can continue to grow this community of kingdom-minded entrepreneurs. Now, let's talk about the Delegation Framework. Okay, these are the actual steps for you to start delegating. So step 1, decide what's not your lane. Those tasks are just draining your focus. Okay, now there are certain tasks where you're just like, this just isn't what I'm called to do. And that is okay. You don't have to be a perfectionist. You don't have to be the one to do it. It's not all about you. This gives other people the opportunity to shine in their specific gifts as well. Remember, we are the body of Christ. Each and every body part has a different function. In your natural body, each part has its own function. Every person has a specific gift. So let's just bring it all together instead of one person doing everything, okay? So those things, like for me, doing the administrative things, that is not my joy. I do not like doing that. What I like to do is to be here on the camera and talk to y'all. That's what I love to do, y'all, okay? But all the admin things, all the back-end things with business, I have automation set up in place. But certain things, there may be individuals that I delegated to as well. I'm not meant to be doing my taxes every year. That doesn't make sense to me. I will delegate that to someone to handle all of my business taxes and move on with my merry life. You want to find those things that you're just like, man, this really just draining my energy, draining my focus. What is my focus? What I'm supposed to be doing in my business, what I'm called to do. That's my focus. Anything outside of that, delegate it. Let others shine in what they're doing. Step 2 is for you to document your process. I will sit here for a minute because this one is huge. Okay. If you are passing on tasks to other individuals, they have to know how you operate. It's good to pass things on, but we're not just loosely passing things on. Remember, we are doing this in excellence. We are kingdom builders, and you have to do it the right way. So as you pass on these tasks, you want to make sure that you have your processes in order. Literally tell them, this is the way it goes. It has to follow this specific process. It makes it easier for them so they're not all confused or trying to do things out of their creative mind. There has to be an actual system in place for them, okay? So if there's a certain way that you edit videos, a certain way that you do photos, depending on what it is, you make sure you have that laid out. If there's a certain way that you send emails to clients, if there's different wording and everything that you use all the time, you want to make sure that all of your processes are in order so that there's no issues. Whenever you have events or conferences and things like that, and you're putting these things together, you want to be able to have that all systemized. That is actually key. Then when you pass it on to someone, they're not confused. You don't want any confusion. Remember, simple systems, not complex systems. So to simplify things, go ahead and have those automations in place. So that's a part of automation as well. So you're automating your processes so that you can delegate it over to someone else. And the way that you automate it, you went back and looked at your process initially, and you're like, yo, I can eliminate certain things. So all of these things flow together. First, you eliminate things, then you go ahead and automate it, and then you pass it on and delegate it. That's the process that you want to do. And step 3, you want to develop others, okay? So that's where the training comes in. This is the part where you're supporting them and helping them to get to that level of caliber that you desire in your business. Because someone can come up to you and say, hey, I'm really good at this. I learned how to do this skill. And you can see some portfolio things. Yeah, that's all fine. But you may have a certain way you do it in your business. So you want to train them so that they are prepared to operate and work under your vision and your calling. What's really cool is one of my businesses, Digital Storytellers Academy, where we actually train individuals in media. Since we were training them with our specific methodology, we're able to send them out and know they're going to do it in excellence. There were times where I hired individuals who were like, man, I'm really good at this. And there was one specific project. I'm just getting frustrated thinking about it right now, where I sent someone out because they were recommended to me by another friend. Cool. Sent someone out, they did a video shoot, and they did not do a good job at all. So I had to go back and rework the video. I paid them and everything, all that. Was not satisfied with the end product. I had to go back and rework that. So yes, there have been situations where I've had individuals go out, not do a great job. So I got to a point where I'm like, man, with Digital Storytellers Academy, it's really cool because we can train individuals. And then from there, we know that they're excellent because we showed them the whole thing. We showed them the framework. We showed them our systems, our process, all of that. And then from there, if we hit you up like, hey, I know that you could do it because we showed you. Would you go and do this shoot for us? Can you go and do this photo shoot, this event for us and all of that? And we know that it's more trustworthy because we trained them and prepared them for it. So it is very key to do all of these steps when you are delegating. I myself have hired a VA most recently to help support me in those mundane tasks that my creativity does not necessarily fall in line with, okay? So I'm able to pass those things on. These are things that still need to be done, but I personally don't need to be the one to do it. So start considering doing that. Whether it's a social media manager, whether it's someone who is a VA, whether it's someone who is coaching you and supporting you in your business, just like this platform, you're gonna find those certain individuals who are fluent in the skills where you may lack, and all of you collaborate and work together towards the same vision. The perfect spiritual example, Jesus Christ himself, right? I mean, Jesus was literally fully God, fully man. He could have handled his whole mission all on his own if he wanted to. But no, he saw fit to get 12 disciples, to train them, to coach them, to delegate, to pass it on. And when he sent them out, he didn't send them out one by one so they could, potentially get conceited or focus in on my works and things that I'm doing. No, he sent them out 2 by 2. He still wants to show that teamwork, supporting each other, using different gifts. Maybe the tension is actually building them up. All of these, the character and the personalities and everything like that coming together to build his church. Okay. And that's what he's calling us to do as well. Jesus has always been about empowerment over micromanaging. You don't want to micromanage too. That's one thing. When you delegate, don't be micromanaging. You don't need to be all up on them. You want to show them that you trust them. And then if there's an issue, you guys can talk about it afterwards. Like, oh, let's tweak this, let's tweak that. And they're going to continue to grow. But if you have all those other systems in place we talked about, like your processes and whatnot, it should be seamless flow to put someone in delegation. So don't try and micromanage and do all of that stuff on your own. You want to pass it on and trust that all is going to be well. And you just work through the process as a team. Because honestly, delegation in business, it's like discipleship, because you're entrusting vision, not just tasks. You are entrusting the vision for them to pass it on and for them to pass it on, just like discipleship. Just like in Timothy, Paul said, I want you to raise up disciples who are going to raise up people who are going to make more disciples. Like, it's just generational and it just keeps going. And that's what you're doing in your business. You're building a legacy. We're not just building something for the next, 5 to 10 years. You want to build something that you're passing on to your family, to your children, something that you're passing on to the community, and you're building God's church ultimately in the marketplace. I leave you with this. Delegation doesn't diminish your calling. It multiplies your capacity. When you have all of these things in place, the systems we talked about, going from elimination to automation to delegation, you are truly sending your business on a trajectory of legacy, a trajectory that is just at the next level. This is key. If you miss any of these points, I fear that you will suffer from stagnancy. And again, I don't want that for you. If you need support in all of these areas, the Legacy Launchpad Challenge is where you want to be. When we do our coaching sessions together, it will be a great time and you will see the fruit of what you are building out. So go ahead in the description box below and hit that link, Kingdom Legacy Blueprint /Legacy Launchpad Challenge. I would love to see you in there and help support you. I hope these 3 videos have been a blessing. Again, if there's anyone that you want to share this with, go ahead and pass it on. Future videos you don't want to miss, so you want to hit that bell as well. And I'm here to continue supporting you in your God-given calling. I'll see you in the next one.